Today I'm going to do a list of the top 10 movies of 2023. This is, however, going to be my very subjective list, because there's a lot of movies that I either intentionally or unintentionally did not watch. There's actually a long list of movies that I was trying to get to and that I did not. So this is the movies that I watched in 2023 and my top 10. We're going to start off with an honorable mention, and that is Wait With Me. Now, this is actually a bit special because I was actually in this. I was an extra. You can clearly see me. So that was pretty cool. It was a pretty great experience meeting everybody and being there. And the film was pretty good, like romance film. Not my specific cup of tea, which is why it's only an honorable mention, but I thought it was a good film. So if you have Passion Flicks, check it out. And if you don't, investigate, because it's on Passion Flicks. Number 10 is Oppenheimer. Now, I know it already won several awards already and all that. It's a really good film. It's just number 10 because I thought that the last half hour, I want to say, was a bit much. I feel like they had a lot of story, like just making the atomic bomb. Like, that's a lot to tell in a almost 3 hour film. So I think that, like, extra judicial part, that was a bit much for me. I would have just been interested in the making of the atomic bomb and not have that be attached. I don't know. That to me kind of sunk down the film at the very end, but still very solid film. Number 9 is 65. Now, I know a lot of people complain about this movie, but I'm a bit of a dinosaur guy. I like dinosaurs, and it's really cool to see a dinosaur movie. Like, I understand it could have been better. However, just because it could have been better does not mean that what we got was not fun. Like, we got to see dinosaurs. We got to see Adam Driver shoot at dinosaurs. Maybe I'm just a simple man. Number 8 is Plane. Now, if you saw the trailer, yeah, it looked pretty bad, pretty generic. However, the good part is that the trailer was only about like a fourth of the beginning. It did not show you what happened in the movie. Like, it kept it to a lot of just what happened in the beginning. And the beginning setup is very boring, it's very generic. However, that was just setup, because once we, it's called Plane, but we actually leave the plane, it gets really interesting then. Yeah, I don't know why people attacked it so much. I had a good time with Plane, and I was there. I guess minor spoilers: the plane crashes. So I was there, when the plane was going down my seat, just going. I got that immersive experience, IMAX, without having to pay for it. Number 7 is Mission Impossible 7. How ironic. I think it was a pretty solid film. I think it's very low because I did a Mission Impossible marathon before going to see this film. And I think Rogue Nation really hit it out of the park. Like, the Mission Impossible films, the first one's really good. And then you got to slog until like 4. And then from 4 it picks up. But Rogue Nation, I thought that was like the best of the bunch. And so I saw this one and I was like, it's fun. But I don't know, it just didn't seem to have that spark that the Rogue Nation had. Also, the first one was really good. Ghost Protocol, Fallout. Yeah, this was like middle of the pack for Mission Impossible. So, a good film, but middle of the pack. Number 6 is The Boy and the Heron. This one I saw in Japanese with English subtitles, and I'm actually a bit upset. I wanted to actually see it in English dubbed as well. Like, I wanted to see the performances of, like, Robert Pattinson and Batista. I'm leaving people out, but it had a very stacked cast. It was a gorgeous film. Visually speaking, the animation was amazing. And also, all the story and how they got to the magical world that they go to is, of course, what Miyazaki does, but amazing. Now, I do think that there are some people that criticized the length of time that it took us to get there and what we were doing in that meantime, and it could have been shortened and could have gone there faster, and that way we could have had more time to be in the world. I get that. I get that. It's very valid criticism. But still, like, the film is amazing. Like, even with that. Come on. Number 5 is Sly! Yay! Yo, Adrian! I did it! Got my shirt, too. I did a short. I actually went to Philly and did the Rocky run. And they actually had a thing there. Where they were doing a photo shoot with, like, the shadow and all this. Like, it was pretty cool. Pretty good experience. And also the film was a really cool experience, you know? So the film is layered or structured in a way that it's kind of telling the past while also telling the present of what he's like going through right now, because it's a summary of his past growing up leading to now where he was leaving his mansion in California and he was moving to Florida, and it was talking just about moving to change it up and really get the creative juices going with the movement and just a freshness. All of the while, like, going through various stories that, you know, as someone that knows a lot about Rocky, I haven't heard before. You know, there's a typical thing of where people are like, oh, did you know that Rocky wrote the script for Stallone? And being someone that's a big fan, I'm like, yeah, I knew. But there are anecdotes in here that I've never heard before, and stories that I don't think have really been mentioned much in film circles when they talk about Stallone and how he came from rags to riches and all this. And I found it very interesting. So if you want, it's on Netflix. And also Netflix told me to, you know, share the word. So here I am doing that. Number 4 is The Iron Claw. This was a brutal film. Like, if you don't know the story going in, prepare to get punched in the gut. Repeatedly. Yeah. Very, very...
What a terrible accident.
An impressive film in all calibers, but... it's, sad hours. Number 3 is Moon Garden. It's this really cool indie film, a very small story, and the lead is actually a little girl. It was this little blonde girl's the lead. It's kind of like Alice in Wonderland in a way, where she's going through this like other world while these real life consequences are happening, and this is like a parallel of this happening while in real life this is happening. It was a very interesting film, and I thought it was really cool and unique, and I was very grateful that happened to be able to see it, because being an indie film, like very indie film, it was only playing in New York. As someone that doesn't live in New York, how was I going to see it? It wasn't playing around here. So I actually happened to go to New York at the time that this was in theaters, and was able to check it out in a nice indie theater, and actually have my little ticket here. It's really nice. It's like if you go, I don't know if you guys know, it's like here it's the Fox Theater, a very fancy place to go to. Yeah, it's like one of those. It's really cool. But it was actually really cool to be able to go and see it and experience it in this little indie theater in New York. Yeah, really good film. I don't know if it's on streaming. I should search for it, you know? Number 2 is Sisu. It's kind of John Wick period piece in World War II. And like John Wick, it doesn't really talk much. He just beats up a bunch of Nazis, and that's really it. It's very simple, but effective action film. Nah, that's it. Sometimes simplicity is key. All you need is a cool old guy and beats up some dudes with really good stunt choreography and fights. Yeah, that's it. Number 1 is Radical. It's basically something like Stand and Deliver, where it's this bad school in a bad area, and this teacher comes in and just changes everything. But it's a Mexican film, it's spoken in Spanish, and I thought it was really different. It differentiated itself enough from other films in the genre, while still kind of having those same emotional beats, but really able to hit you.
¿Para qué? Pues, solo quería probar algo distinto. No vaya.
And the change in setting also makes it different as well, where we're not seeing something here in the States, we're seeing something elsewhere, experiencing something different. And while Eugenio has said that this is a dramatic role, it still carries some of the comedy that he typically does. And so a bit more of a dramedy with more moments that can switch either side, where you can get more dramatic or you can get more comedic. But still, it's able to balance it out. And I think overall, especially towards the end, land far more on the dramatic side. So I think it's really a film worth checking out, and my number one of the year. Or, since I'm me, it's number Juan. And that was my list of the year. Now, like I said, there was a lot of films that I did not see, and a lot of films I did not see on purpose, because I'm kind of over superhero movies. I did see Guardians. Shit, I forgot I saw Guardians. Okay. But anyway, what's something that you thought is up there and I missed? Let me know, because like I've said, I'm still trying to catch up. If I can ever catch up. There's hundreds of movies out there, guys. Not just 2023, but like before that, and like, well, it doesn't really look like there's much going forward, is there? So yeah, there's a lot of movies I gotta catch up on. So what was a good one that I might have missed? Let me know, and see you later.